Hey guys, today I'm going to be installing LED headlight bulbs on my 2017 Chevy Colorado. I got these from a company called Cyclops Sports, and these top ones are for the high beam. That's a 9005 bulb fitment, and then the bottom ones here are an H11 for your low beams. Now, disclaimer, my Colorado comes with the projector low beam headlights. Your mileage may vary if you have the reflector beam headlights in the lower trim levels of a Chevy Colorado. I don't know how these will work. I know that with the projectors, these work fantastic. So take that risk, I guess. Anyways, so I wanted to show you what you get in the box. These are typically sold as this is one, so you have to buy two to get the full set. These are typically made for like a motorcycle or a single headlight off-road vehicle, but they work just the same in a road vehicle. So you got to buy two to get the quantity needed for the low beams and an H11. Same with the 9005s, you need to buy two to get the full package. So let's just take one out and take a look at it here, what you get. So they come in this nice little package. You get a piece of paper saying, after installation, ensure the emitters are facing left and right, not up and down. Key point. We'll remember that when we go to install. And then you got a little styrofoam box here, and here's the bulb. There's your plug, the igniter, and there's the bulb. It's all one nice little unit. And this is directly plug and play. You do not need a harness. You can install a relay harness. I've been talking with a few people on the Chevy forums, and so far they've been successful without a harness. So the 9005s look exactly the same. The only difference being these prongs that hold it into place in the actual housing itself. So I'm not going to take those out of the box. They look exactly the same. But so basically all you're going to do is plug this directly in line to where your old bulb is, and then turn this into your housing. Make sure you're going left and right, not like this. So the difference being, when it's mounted, you want this to be going like this. If you can see that, I guess that's a little easier to see. You want the LEDs to be pointing left and right. You do not want them to be facing up and down. So let's dig into this vehicle and see what kind of obstacles we have to get these installed. Alright guys, this is the driver's side of the engine compartment on the back side of your housings. These are relatively easy to get to. You got your dust covers here. This is your high beam dust cover, and then this one over here is your low beam dust cover. And these just twist counterclockwise to pop off. And this is what they look like. They're nice and deep, and that'll help with all the extra harness you have on those bulbs. Be careful you don't lose your grommet here. They do kind of just fall off. And then also when you're going to reinstall these, they can be a little tricky. You got to line them up just right, and then they turn probably I don't know, a quarter of a spin. You'll feel it lock into place. So make sure you have it all seated correctly, so you're not getting any dust and water inside your housing. So that's the driver's side. Once you look inside, there's the high beam bulb. That's just a standard halogen 9005 bulb, and that'll just twist out of place. You can kind of see the metal prongs that hold it into place, and that will just twist out. Same with your low beam, the H11. There it is at the back side. Those will just twist out, and you'll plug your LED directly into them. Now on the passenger side, it's not so easy. At first glance, I noticed there's some sort of cowling here, and it can be removed. It's just a rubber kind of cowling. Looks like this piece here needs to come off. It's held in with a push pin there and a hex bit there. I'll go into depth in a minute. And then there's this back piece that is blocking the rear of the headlight. I'll let you know what's involved in taking that out. The Torx bolt, it's real small. I mean, you can see there. It is a T20 Torx. I used a little tiny Torx Allen wrench to get it out, so it's not in there really tight. And then the push pin at the back, once you get that popped out, these two pieces kind of are like interlocked together, and you have to lift up this back flap to fully pull this this whole piece right off. And then you can set that aside. And then upon further investigation on that back panel, it seems that this is all one big piece. So it covers the back of the headlight from here, and it's all this one big piece back here. So I'm going to dig in a little bit here to figure out what exactly it needs to be done to get in there. So here's the shot from the back side of this passenger side housing. Now this is an overflow hose for your radiator. It just will pop out. It's just a pin. Then there's also a push pin right there. If you can see it right there. I took it out already for this plastic panel. But it's still being held up by something. And then upon further investigation, there's your horn. And there's one bolt holding the horn in to the frame or whatever. I can't really get a clear shot of it, but I think you can just loosen the bolt on the horn and set it aside because it's got some cable on it to move, and that'll give you a little bit more clearance. So I'm going to do that now. There's the bolt for that horn. It is a 10mm hex. I used a little 3/8" drive to get it out, but once it's loose, you can just use the little extension to hand back it out. It's really easy. So once you have that horn pulled off, you can just kind of move it out of the way. I just hung it over the side there a little bit. It's being held in by that cable right there. Then there's also another push pin way down there. I've already got it taken out. You can kind of see the spot. I don't have a hand to point with. I'm using the light, so it's that straight right in the middle of the screen. There's a push pin. I've already removed it. Then that removes everything in the way of opening this panel. So you get your little hose out of the way here. That allows you to pull back this little cover, and you can see you can get access to the two dust covers on the headlight. So now that we have that stuff out of the way, we can start plugging in the new bulbs. I'm going to start on the driver's side. Okay guys, so now I have the bulb twisted into place here, and as you can see it sticks out a little bit, but that's fine because these dust covers have a lot of room. Now going back to a very important piece on those bulbs, you want the LED to be facing left and right, not up and down. But how are you supposed to tell that with it in place? Well, you can come around to the front of the headlight and look on this side. This is the high beam, obviously it's easy. It's facing left and right, perfect. You can't really do that on the projector side, but I figured out that the orientation of the harness, the wiring faces, if it faces down, you're good. That's what you want. You want the harness to face down. And there really is only one way for these to twist into place, so this should be the default twist-in mode. So it's really there all is to it. And I haven't plugged these in yet. This is the OEM connector, and the igniter just will pop into that. And then you'll just keep all this extra harness inside the dust cover, and you should be fine. So something I want to add. I just got the passenger or the driver's side installed, and when I test fired them, I heard a really not a strange noise, a buzzing. I was like, what the heck is that? It didn't sound electrical. It's actually a fan. There is a fan inside of here. So this is a giant heat sink on the back of this, and there's a little fan that flips on. You can kind of see it, maybe. No, it's hard to see. It's hard to pick it up on the camera. But there's a little fan in there that helps to keep the base of this thing cool, which is interesting to say the least. I didn't know that's how these function, but yeah, that's kind of neat. But yeah, I did fire up this side, and they did work without a problem. So I'm gonna just show you. And that's you can kind of hear the fan right now. And there's my high beam. Just like that. So they do work. So I just want to give you a color difference. There is the driver's side with the LED, and there is the passenger side with the original halogens. Alright guys, now one more thing. I got everything tidied up. All the bulbs are installed and they work great. One more thing here is there are adjusters on these housings. And you can see it right down there, that little white plastic thingy. That is a elevation control up and down for the headlight. So if you need to adjust them a little bit after this, because you might be, you know, blinding people, who knows? You can adjust them up and down so that you're not. And that's the same on both sides. You got your other adjuster right there. And those are just a turn. You could probably use a big long Phillips screwdriver to get those in there. So if you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more videos on stuff like this, subscribe. Thanks for watching, guys. Later.